ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Jackwitz, this is the Kaged Review, and this is my spoiler review for Sonic the Hedgehog. So to preface this, yes, I am old enough to have played the original Sonic the Hedgehog when it came out. I played, several iterations of the game itself, and I always loved it. It was fun. You know, back in the day, it was actually really cool. Now it looks just incredibly outdated. But I really do love what they did with the movie. I love that they kind of tried to care about the characters. And I really love that after a lot of fan complaints, the studio actually went back and reanimated Sonic the Hedgehog. And he looks a lot better after the reanimation, to be very honest. So I was just happy to support that. I'm happy when I can put money into a company that actually listens to the fans, take notes, and actually takes action. And they did here. So directed by Jeff Fowler, you have Ben Schwartz, who voices Sonic the Hedgehog. James Marsden plays Tom Wachowski, who is a local small-town cop who winds up finding Sonic the Hedgehog. You have Tika Sumpter as Maddie Wachowski, his wife. Jim Carrey plays Dr. Ivo Robotnik. And he has a helper, Agent Stone, played by Lee Majub. And so, we have Sonic. He is this alien being. He's on another planet at the beginning of the movie. And just like any being with a lot of power, somebody wants that power. And that is true on his planet. These alien creatures wanted his power. And so he had to create a portal. And what I love about this movie is they explain what the gold rings are for. These gold rings that Sonic were trying to collect, and he's actually trying to collect them in this movie, are used as portals to other worlds, other dimensions, whatever. And I thought it was really cool that they explained that. And so he uses one of these gold rings to come to Earth. When he gets to Earth, you actually have a couple of touching moments kind of near the beginning of the movie where, you know, he can see life, he can see people, he gets excited about things, but he realizes how alone he is. He's the only one of his kind, especially on this planet, and he has no one to talk to. And so with that, you know, like there's a scene where he's watching a softball game, the kids are playing and they're having fun, and you know, he just wants to be a part of that. And so after everybody's all gone and it's at nighttime, you kind of see in the preview for the movie, like Sonic playing this game by himself. And you know, it kind of comes to a point where he's like having fun with it, but then he realizes how alone he really is. And he just starts running, and he gets faster and faster and faster until suddenly he releases this huge burst of energy that pretty much blackouts the entire like eastern seaboard or wherever it was. And I thought that was like kind of cool that they're showing how powerful he is. And of course the government, they don't know what caused this massive blackout, and so they think it might be an attack or whatever. And so they bring in Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey. And so, you know, there's a lot of plot forgiveness you have to give. This is a kid's movie, and sometimes it does feel like a kid's movie, especially with plot structure, but it was still very, very fun. But having said that, Jim Carrey, Dr. Robotnik, finds his footprint, and through his technology, realizes that it's not a footprint from anything on Earth. And so he deduces very quickly that it's an alien, and he wants this alien. And of course, the power that he has. Sonic the Hedgehog wound up leaving a quill, and Dr. Robotnik finds this quill. And so instantly he's putting all the pieces together. So they go on a hunt for Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic goes to hide at Tom Wachowski's house, the local cop, and the cop finds him. He thinks it's a raccoon because he's got a raccoon problem. And so he shoots Sonic with a tranq gun. And when that happens, Sonic drops his bag of gold rings. One of them lands and actually becomes a portal. The rest of the bag falls through onto the top of a skyscraper. So Tom Wachowski is now like, what the hell just happened? He's trying to figure this all out. Sonic is put in a cage while he's passed out, wakes up, comes to, lets himself out of the cage. He starts talking. Tom starts kind of like getting the idea of what's going on. And then here comes Dr. Robotnik, Jim Carrey, who of course comes into the house, finds Sonic. James Marsden punches Jim Carrey and knocks him out cold. And now he and Sonic are on the run. Tom and Sonic are taking off. Jim Carrey, Dr. Robotnik, since he is a government agent, makes Tom Wachowski a fugitive from the law. So they're kind of running, and there are certain things again with forgiveness, like Tom calling his wife, who is at her sister's house, and them, the government not being able to track him right away. There are things that you just gotta let go of. But eventually, they do make it to Maddie's house. They figure out, Sonic the Hedgehog needs to get to this rooftop, and I think it was in like Seattle, maybe Portland, I don't know, it doesn't matter, big city. And so they're on a trip to get Sonic there to go get his rings. Of course, while that's happening, Jim Carrey is making his own technology even better with the Sonic Quill and the energy that it's coming from it. And so he does, in fact, become Dr. Robotnik. And of course, there's a big fight at the end with Sonic and Dr. Robotnik. And I really, really loved it because I was kind of worried about how they were going to do like an end fight scene with Sonic the Hedgehog and Dr. Robotnik. And they actually made it like the video game. If you've ever played the video game, Sonic the Hedgehog has to like bash into Dr. Robotnik a bunch of times. And I thought it was really cool the way they did that. At the end, Sonic the Hedgehog places this gold ring behind Dr. Robotnik. It's this barren mushroom land. Like it's a world that's just covered in mushrooms and nothing else. And so Sonic hits Dr. Robotnik. He goes through the portal. Boom, there you go. So, very cool. They wind up ending off with Jim Carrey shaving his head, looking very much like Dr. Robotnik at the end, with his big bushy mustache growing out and the bald head. Looked really cool. He's on this mushroom planet, but he's still got Sonic the Hedgehog's quill that still has that power. And so he's expecting that he's going to be able to escape this planet somehow. And then you actually get a mid-credit scene that I knew was coming. Like I knew at some point they were going to have Tails in this movie. I had that feeling. And sure enough, opens up a portal. Here comes Tails to Earth from wherever the hell he's from. And he says he has to find Sonic, before it's too late. And so obviously that mid-credit scene opening up a sequel. I thought it was very, very cute. I had a lot of fun with it. There was a lot of good laughs to it. And adding Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik was very, very good. That was a really important touch because he brought like a zaniness and a craziness that Jim Carrey is just known for. And I said in my non-spoiler review how much I loved him as like Ace Ventura and when he was in Liar Liar, things like that, The Mask. And it was very cool to see Jim Carrey being like 1990s Jim Carrey again, having fun and just going after it. And that's what this was. And if you know the character of Dr. Robotnik, he's not exactly subtle. So I thought it was a very good fit. I thought the voice acting for Sonic was very good. I thought James Marsden did fine with his role. I mean, these aren't career-defining roles, obviously, but they are fun and they were well acted, and that's what counts to me. You get that first clip of Sonic's homeworld. I thought it looked very, very good. What more can you say? And the fact that they took the time to reconstruct Sonic, it's a win for me. So I think, I forget exactly what I gave this. I think it was like a 7. It probably deserves, I'll give it like a 7.5 just because, and the reason for the half is because I'm kind of leaning toward it's better, but I don't want to say it's an 8, because 8s are like really, really good movies. This was fun. It was a kid's movie. It knew what it was. It didn't take itself too seriously. You could go have a good time, and it does pay homage to the characters. And so for what the movie was created for, I think it was actually pretty damn good. So I'm going to stick with the 7.5 out of 10 because it was really a fun movie. It knew what it was. So that's where I'm at with it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz. Kaged Nation, out.